You're listening to DraftKings Network.
You know that sound. It's the sound of money hitting your Venmo account. A friend paying you back. Or maybe it's getting cash back from your favorite business when you pay with the Venmo debit card. Or it's realizing you can pay with Venmo at checkout at thousands of brands. Now, there are so many more ways to answer the question, what's your Venmo? Download Venmo today. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Dosh Cashback terms apply.
Hey there, travelers and dreamers. We all have that dream trip that we've been wishing we could go on. But too often, life just gets in the way, whether it's work, family responsibilities, or, in my case, and I'm sure many of yours, price. But your dream trip doesn't have to stay a dream any longer, because Priceline is here to help you book it with millions of deals on hotels, flights, cruises, and rental cars. That bucket list destination? Yeah, it's a lot closer than you think. You know, I've been wanting to go see the Pittsburgh Pirates for a long time at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. That's like at the top of my list of bucket list destinations of baseball parks around the country. And because I now know about the type of deals that Priceline offers, I may pull the trigger this summer and go see those Pirates. Priceline makes it easy and stress-free to book a flight and a hotel so I can go see my team play live. With millions of travel deals like up to 60% off hotels, I know I'll be able to find great options even when I need to book last minute. So don't just dream about that next trip, book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com to go to your happy price. Actual prices may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Welcome to the Hockey Show. Roy, Dave, Rose, Ethan. Let's start with our slap shots, hot takes. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hey, man, I don't have time for this. Let's go.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Wow, I'm Rose. Thank you.
Yeah.
I said your name, didn't I? I said your name. Didn't I say your name? I said your name. Dave?
You did say everybody's name, Roy.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right. My hot take, it's not a hot take, actually. It's a
cold take?
It's a hot mic.
Oh.
It's not a cold take. It's a hot mic. Former Sabres, I don't say star, former well-known player Rob Ray, tough guy, fighter, longtime Buffalo Sabre. Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for.
There you go.
He works between the benches on the Sabres broadcasts, and he had his mic open and got hit by the puck.
Puck is dropped, and it's 4-0. Here in the opening period. And Razor just took
This is the greatest F-bomb of all time.
Oh, my God.
The greatest F-bomb of all time.
That was a rocket.
Dude takes a puck in the eye. Trainers are checking on him. The funny thing is, the next game, where's he broadcasting from? The last row in the upper deck of the arena.
You got to stay safe, man.
Wouldn't you?
I would. I would be throwing out F-bombs, too.
Does this get into the old school discussion that we've had, though, of the old school guys not wearing visors? Because if he would have had a visor on, we wouldn't be having this.
How do they not put these guys behind a thing of glass? Like, first of all, how does this not happen more often? I know they get pucks sometimes.
Cameras,
like,
because you got to zoom in on it.
The whole point of them being there is they want to hear what's happening on the ice. Like, if you can't hear, then what's the,
I don't know. All I know is this is the greatest F-bomb I think I've ever heard.
And the way he said yeah, it's just perfect.
Yeah, that's gonna make Rose happy.
If you have, if you're not watching this on YouTube, or if you want to just Google Rob Ray, find a picture of him post puck to the face. Thank you.
Go ahead and play it again.
Yeah,
play it again.
One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
Puck is dropped, and it's 4-0. Here in the opening period, and Razor just took
that sounds like he's taking like a violent shit, and he can't get like that. That was like that.
Confirming.
All right, let's go.
Sorry for all the editing, Rose.
I'm saying though, man, she's got
Rose is over there like shut up, guys.
No, you did it again. What are you doing? What are you doing?
You know what? You're gonna edit this video. I'm gonna give it to you, and this is gonna be your first.
I'm gonna have work to do too, guys, because I have to leave it out in audio.
Don't complain.
Okay, let's go to my hot take. New York Islanders, you reap what you sow. You know why you reap what you sow? Because you brought back Anthony DeAngelo back into this league. Now, I mean, seriously, like they should be embarrassed, and they got embarrassed. You know why? Because he lost 5-1 to the Rangers and allowed this goal to Matt freaking Rempe. Like,
you can't do that.
What are we doing?
You can't do that. You can't allow a goal to Matt Rempe.
I feel so bad for Ilya Sorokin. He's having such a rough year.
Yeah.
The Islanders in general are having a rough year.
Scott Perunovich and Ryan Pilak did not escape this game without a bad stat line, respectively, -4, both of them.
Put Matt Barzal.
Matt Barzal. I mean, all this
Barzal.
bad juju that the Islanders have brought upon themselves.
Yeah, it's been bad. In fact, they've lost 5 of their last 6, so good for them. Good for them.
Not
Win of
good
the
hockey in New York right now.
bad hockey in that. Well, on that side of the island, yeah.
Well, Devils are okay.
Wait, I have a hot take.
The
wait.
Rangers the Rangers are actually doing better. Ethan, you have a hot take.
I do have a hot take, bro. I went to watch the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers last night.
This is back-to-back weeks, by the way. Now I've ignored your hot takes.
Take on the team they knocked out in the Stanley Cup Final, the Edmonton Oilers. And the Edmonton Oilers are 3-6-1 in their last 10. They've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah,
I got a hot take,
bad.
boys. They're going nowhere this year.
You realize how hard it was for them to scratch and claw their way back up the division because they were out of it.
They had a rough year, rough start to the year, and you kind of knew, okay, this isn't who Edmonton is. They're a lot better than this. They'll get hot. But all of a sudden, and listen, there's ups and downs for every team. They've played a lot of hockey. McDavid looks tired. Everybody that's come back from the Four Nations looks exhausted. I think Dylan Larkin got in trouble with Todd McClellan, the head coach of the Detroit Red Wings yesterday. He had some comments about it. Knobloch had some comments after last night's game. I just don't think this team is going anywhere. I think there are too many good teams in the West. Dallas, Winnipeg, Colorado is still really dangerous in my eyes, even without Rantanen. What I saw from them last night, if you take McDavid out of the game, which the Panthers kind of did, they're relying on a lot of Brett Kulaks and Arvidssons and Skinners and Hyman's. You know, Hyman's a great player, but I'm just talking about, all of a sudden.
Just depth players.
And for what it's worth, right, these guys killed the Panthers in the Stanley Cup Final last year, right?
Yeah, but then they got rid of Warren Foegele.
Yeah.
Fogel's gone. Holloway's gone. Who's the other? Broberg is gone. Went to St. Louis. McLeod is gone. So it's like they lost a lot of these guys. Look, they can always make a big move at the deadline and make a big play and get back into this thing, but I just don't see them as a real threat to win the Stanley Cup right now.
They haven't even had Evander Kane for a year and a half.
You know who's loving the narrative that Ethan just set up? The Los Angeles Kings.
Yeah,
because they might actually have a chance in the first round this year.
They might get out of the first round now. Because right now, if the playoffs started today, it's Kings-Oilers again.
Yeah.
We should tell McDavid, hey, just take the Canada win because you're not going to the Stanley Cup. That's
you're right.
Rose with some shade for Mick Overrated.
This is a learning situation for all the GMs in the National Hockey League as far as how to handle players when it comes to stuff like Olympics and Four Nations and World Cup of Hockey, and how to handle their injuries and how to handle what to do with them coming back from these tournaments, because, as Ethan said, they look exhausted.
Yeah. Look, maybe you got to build in a few days of rest. Neither of the Chuck brothers have played yet.
Yeah, I was very surprised, sorry, David, to see how many guys, like my buddies asked me in a group chat, like, how many guys do you think sit out the first game back from the Four Nations between U.S. and Canada? I said 44 or 46 or however many guys were on those rosters. Like, yes. I legitimately thought everybody would get a rest day. There would be a select few, but
the goalies
to see how many guys came back. Reinhart and Bennett were right back in the lineup. Crosby, dealing with an injury, was right back in the lineup. Like, I would have given these guys a couple days to kind of get back, take a vacation, hell, go to Cabo for all I care. Like, sorry,
stop a death bomb.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that
settle down there, Rob Ray.
I just think that
he's scrappy.
You made me lose my train of thought now. I just think these guys could have benefited. These guys could have benefited from a couple days of rest to really get them back for the stretch run.
Do you want to set that precedent, though? I mean, if that's like, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, but do you want to say, okay, we're going to do this amazing tournament where everybody's going to go balls to the walls, they're going to go crazy, that's how we want it, but then we're going to give them a game or two off.
What's 1 or 2 games in February? Like, realistically.
Because everybody who's involved with the NHL that's not involved in the Four Nations, all the GMs of everybody that didn't, they're going to be like, what the bleep?
Yeah.
Because now my NHL, you're not going to please everybody with this. So I think you can't make it a precedent, but if guys can just, quietly take a game or two to get their stuff together, that's okay.
And what's you have with the injuries, because Vegas, Florida, and Boston has to do with that now.
Yeah, we're not even talking about Martinez. The first casualty.
Yeah. And you're complaining about the... Okay.
Yo no sé.
Since we're bleeping everything, a tomar por culo. Good luck with that.
Oh, that's a bad word.
That's a very bad
word.
word.
You bleep that.
That's a very bad saying.
Yeah.
I know how to say the F word in French. Thank you, Shorzy.
We have more that we have to do, so let's move on to win of the week, Dave.
My win of the week comes from St. Louis. Ryan Suter played his 1500th NHL game the other night, and the Blues brought his 4 kids into the locker room to read the pregame lineups, and that in and of itself was amazingly cute and awesome. But if we can play it, his youngest son, when he gets to his father's name, it just melted my heart.
Okay, Suits, you got 1,500 games, so we're celebrating that today. Okay, the starting lineup, we got Suits' 4 kids coming out. Mm-hmm. To introduce
That's
our
not
starters.
his kids. That's my dad starting.
Look at him in the suits.
Oh, I love it. The little guy in the suit, looking dapper as hell. I love it.
That's too bad. Bennington and net.
Neighbors. Thomas. David. Rieko. And Dad.
That's very nice. He even got the pronunciations correct. That's very good.
And Dad.
And Dad. And Dad comes over and gives the big hug.
That's Tell awesome. Me that doesn't make your heart melt.
Yeah, it does. Especially considering my win of the week. Because last week, Saturday, at the Baptist Iceplex, which houses the Panthers practices, Claire had Try Hockey for free. She had a session there. And it was dedicated to the girls. And we have some pictures and a video here. I signed her up for the session, and she was scared. You know, she skated maybe twice in her life, right? And she's watched a lot of hockey with Dad. And before she came out, she said to me, I don't skate as fast. Maybe I'm going to do better. I said, hey, listen, it's not about you going out there and skating fast as she goes out there and tiptoes on video, if you can see it on YouTube. It's about trying. And she went out there and she tried. And me and Anid, my wife, we led her out to the edge of the ice and we put her out there, and she did very well. She only fell twice, which was definitely the under, because I expected her to fall a lot more, but she only fell twice, and she did very well. She had zip on her passes and shots, and big ups to the trainers out there. They really did well with her on the ice. I was definitely a proud dad. And
that's so cool.
As are you, because Tyler is playing hockey.
Yeah, Tyler was on the other ice when Claire was on that ice. So it's pretty cool that our kids were out there. I had to look it up on my phone because I remember as she was on the ice getting a text from you, and all he said was, dude, ... I think she might be good.
Yeah, and as you can tell from the video, like, she's staying up right.
First time.
Who's a better skater, Roy, you or Claire?
Well, it's me, but because I can actually push.
It's Claire, I have a video. We can put them side by side.
Yeah, side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Get that produced next week. Get that done.
Do that in post.
Our kids
do it in
are
post.
playing hockey now.
No.
Yeah. Our kids are playing hockey.
Our kids are playing hockey. Like, God, we're old.
Yeah, we are old. Ethan, it'll happen to you too. Your kids are going to
slow your roll.
Slow your roll.
Whoa.
Slow your roll.
Slow down.
You're getting old too, man.
Kids
you
on the other side of the
reins.
Are there any wins of the week from that side?
Yeah, for my win of the week, I have our girl Ariana Grande fangirling the Panthers. So that's a win-win. Let's hear it.
This little selenite wand for protection as well. This was also in Glinda's dressing room. I brought it to the Panthers game in Florida when I went to visit my family, and we won. And I think it was because of this. Go Panthers.
Now, that Panthers game was in the Stanley Cup Final. Let's not beat around that bush there.
Go Wicked. Yes, Ariana. Let's do this. And we're gonna. You know what? We should have Ariana in this podcast. Ariana, come.
Rose, what's significant about a selenite wand? Because I actually had to look up how to spell it. I had no idea what that was.
A cellulite wand?
What your girl was just showing.
Yeah.
She didn't even know what she's talking about in the video.
The thing is that we don't care what the wand does, and it was in Glinda's dressing room, and that says a lot because it was in the movie and it was part of the movie more than we were. I wish I was part of the movie. And then she took it to the Panthers game and they won. So it's something that we should keep getting to the Panthers game.
Okay.
It's a lucky charm. What the hell? That's a win.
Do you have a lucky charm?
No, I don't. I don't believe in that.
You don't believe in charms. Fails of the week, Dave.
All right, my fail of the week. It's a referee. Justin Kia was nailed right in the bingo button the other night at the end.
Bingo button.
At the end of the Vancouver-Utah game. Utah doesn't have a team name, but yeah.
Not yet.
Alex Kerfoot spins around, tries to clear the zone. The poor referee's putting his hands up to protect his face because obviously that's the move, right? Yeah. You got to protect your face if a puck's coming at you. And that left his nether regions completely unguarded. And you can hear the bells going off.
I was watching this game live, and I kind of missed what happened right away, but I saw the reaction to it, and I was watching it with my dad, and I could tell based on the faces he was making, the places he was holding. I said to my dad, I'm like, oh, he's got the stomach ache right now, but I know what's going on right here.
There's nothing the trainer can do, right? The trainer comes out there, oh, what happened? Where's it hurt? Just don't worry about. Just
give me some space.
Give me a second.
Give me some space.
Don't touch it.
Let me breathe it out.
Just relax. He had the bottom lip sticking out like Bill Cowher. He was so in pain and embarrassed, and
you could see him trying to breathe it out, Roy. Just
guys know that feeling. That's the worst stomach ache, sharp pain. It's just ugh. So anyway,
think about having kids there, Ethan.
What's this? What's all this kids talk around? I'm 26 and single.
Go, Ethan. Go make some kids. Go make some kids, bro.
Guys. Jeez.
Christ, damn. All right, my fail of the week is an anniversary of probably the worst night in Mike Modano's career. 31 years ago, it was Rangers versus Stars, and Mike Modano was elbowed in the head by Mark Messier.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was bad.
It was so different back then, man.
Yeah, I don't think that
Look
Mark
at the
Messier
position Modano's in.
Those skates. Look at
he
goalie
was
skates.
prone. He was basically unconscious from the elbow, and then fell to the ice. His head,
just what happened?
His head hit the ice. There's going to end up being a replay here.
There's a replay. I almost fainted editing that.
Yeah, there was a streak of blood going across the ice as he slid towards the boards.
Oof.
That's
that's nasty.
Yeah, that's elbow to the head now is probably how many games?
If that happened today, 10 games, easy.
10 games, if that. At least 10 games. Now, this is the fail right here because Mike Modano was on a gurney they were trying to put him in the ambulance, and he fell. They dropped him. They dropped Mike Modano, who was on the gurney, as they were trying to put him in the ambulance.
You don't want to laugh at that. I guess 30 years later or whatever it's been, it's okay. But that's so not cool. Poor guy's on a stretcher, and it's like something out of a comedy movie.
Do you realize how rare it is for cameras to be in the tunnel?
That's why. That's exactly why. Because they don't want something like that to happen for it to get caught on camera.
Yeah, that's
embarrassing.
Disrespectful.
Everybody.
That is very regretful. Well, the good news is coming up next on our show, we have Fatou Bah from the Black Girls Hockey Club, and we are going to celebrate the end of Black History Month with her. Coming up next.
All right, I know I got to do this ad read, but hold on. Let me reapply. Did you hear that? Yep, that's my new favorite lip gloss from NYX Cosmetics. Now I'm ready to talk to you. I've been a huge fan of NYX Cosmetics for many years now. In fact, I use their Thick It, Stick It brow gel every single day. So you can imagine my excitement when we recently received a special delivery to the Batard studios from our friends over at NYX Cosmetics. And there it was. When I opened the box, glowing, I heard the angels sing, ah. It's their latest lip gloss Fat Oil Lip Drip. It's NYX Cosmetics' first lip oil of its kind. This creamy lip oil will have your lips dripping with fat perks. You get all the shine of a lip gloss and none of the stickiness while experiencing 12-hour hydration. I'm usually a matte lip gloss kind of gal. My normal go-to is NYX Cosmetics lip gloss, the Lingerie XXL. But after applying the status update shade, I have found my new go-to lip gloss. Fat Oil Lip Drip has high shine finish with comfortable wear and none of the sticky texture. A lip product that's hydrating, non-sticky, and only $9? Now that's a win. Try Fat Oil Lip Drip from NYX Professional Makeup. Available in 14 universally flattering shades. Find your perfect Fat Oil Lip Drip. Shop now at nyxcosmetics.com or a retailer near you.
This is the last day of Black History Month, and to celebrate, we're going to talk about Black girls in hockey.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, we have we have a member of the board of directors of the Black Girl Hockey Club, Fatou Bah, and I just want to go over what you guys do to expand the sport of hockey, and especially the black community, and especially for black women.
Yes. So, hi. Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome to the show.
I'm so excited. So I just want to say it in just the easiest terms. Black Girl Hockey Club, we essentially remove barriers for entry for Black girls and women in hockey. So that means many things, whether it's removing the barrier entry. As we know, hockey's super expensive. So we're giving girls scholarships. If you're a Black girl that's 9 to 18 years old, apply for a scholarship. We're giving you scholarships so that you can either pay for gas to travel to the hockey games, get equipment. We also do equipment scholarships with Bauer. Just removing all those barriers. But if you're someone like me who's never played hockey or even been on ice, if you want to be an executive in hockey, we offer mentorships. If you want to be a referee, a coach, behind the bench, we're essentially removing those barriers of entry by giving you entry. So that's in a nutshell what Black Girl Hockey Club does.
All right, I have a daughter. Her name is Claire.
Yes. Princess Claire.
Princess Claire. She is a Black girl, and she tried hockey for free last week. Can you convince me that her future is bright as a hockey fan and even potentially a future hockey player?
Absolutely. I think what's the best thing about Black women in hockey right now is that you actually can see it. Whether it's Sarah Nurse, who got like the most points ever in the Olympics, who is an Olympian, who is a gold medalist, who actually lets the Black girls hold her gold medal, that wears her gold medal. Like you really can see it. Or someone like Soroya, who is actually on TV now, and she also won the Isabel Cup, like before it became the PWHL. You actually can see yourself in hockey with these beautiful women. So if Claire wants to do it, she can do it, and she has the support of the Black hockey aunties like me.
Fatou, you mentioned Sarah Nurse, and we've been following the PW for the last 2 seasons now. How much has that league coming together and its popularity and all the exposure, how much has that impacted bringing young Black women into the sport, just from your perspective?
I think the best part about it is the accessibility that you actually can watch it, whether it's on YouTube or local TV now, so that you actually know it exists. I was actually at a game recently, and like you can put the messages on the big screen. There was a woman on there who was wishing her friend who's 40 years old a happy birthday. And she's like, you always wanted to be a Dallas Stars player because you did not know that women existed in hockey. I wish this was here for you as a kid, but you're here today and happy birthday. So it's something that like little girls like Claire can see, that instead of wanting to be your favorite player on a men's team, you now can be your favorite player on a women's team.
Have the players been, like, I would think, but have they been getting involved and really reaching out to the youth?
1,000%. One of the coolest things I've done with Black Girl Hockey Club is that we partnered with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Obviously, hockey is much more prevalent in Canada. We had an event, and it was an all-women hockey panel, all Black women hockey panel.
Oh, wow.
Sarah Nurse was actually on the panel. Soroya Tinker was also on the panel, and Soroya actually said, she's like, I always almost didn't talk to the people in hockey because they didn't relate to me. I would just have my earphones in, and Angela is a little older than me, so yes, she's an idol, but I didn't grow up watching her because I'm a little younger, and I actually stayed in hockey because I wanted people who look like me to see that I'm here, and that's why I'm still in hockey, because I just wanted people to have a role model and know that we are here, even though I didn't always love the sport because I didn't feel it loved me. So, the women, I feel like the women in particular are making sure that they're seen and heard so that more people that look like them can be seen and heard.
You live in New York City.
Yes, I do.
Why exactly are you a Capitals fan?
Because I'm from D.C. and I love everything D.C. And obviously, the best player in the league is on the Washington Capitals. So how can you not be a fan?
Man.
Logan Thompson?
Yes. Obviously, congratulations, Canada. But that win would have been more safe if Logan Thompson was on there.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing with Jordan Bennington here?
But Benny played well.
Yeah, he
Benny
did
played well.
in that instance.
Benny counted. I mean, there was also a certain person who cursed the U.S. team. Maybe we don't talk about that, but I'm just saying.
we don't talk about it.
No, we don't talk about it. No.
Fatou, I want to ask you a question. You mentioned the Four Nations. In the wake of the Four Nations, something I've heard a lot is, we need to make the game more accessible. We need to make it more affordable at the youth levels to really get people interested. So what do you see as the biggest barriers for hockey, for not just kids that, the typical kid that wants to play, but women and black women in particular?
I think obviously beyond the cost is the accessibility. Like, it's really not a lot of times you're going in deep into the suburbs to play. So that's gas money. That's like, finding a babysitter because you're going to be away from home for a long time. To me, that's really the biggest barrier, just literally finding a local youth in the city, like, where can I go to play? That's also why DC is great, because we actually have a place in Northeast DC that is really accessible to the kids and the youth to go learn hockey. And they also serve as like an after school center too.
This week is the 130th anniversary of the creation of the Colored Hockey League of the Maritimes, which is based out of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. This league was created 14 years prior to the National Hockey Association and 22 years prior to the National Hockey League.
Wow.
And 60 years prior to Willie O'Ree's first game with the Boston Bruins. Now, a lot has changed since then, obviously. We got a women's league now, as we mentioned. But as far as demographics are concerned, for players and for front office, which skews heavily white, do you think there is any progression or regression or stagnation in diversity and inclusion in the National Hockey League right now?
So I'll start with the positive.
Oh, there's positives.
I'll definitely start with the progression. I mean, I don't know if it's the biggest thing, but at least there is a code of conduct for fans. So,
So no more banana throwing then?
I mean, unfortunately, that is still happening, but you will be called out and you will pay for it. Like, you might not be able to go to a game anymore if you actually do that. So, I mean, it is a positive that there is a code of conduct that if you do something racist, if you do something crazy, if you make fans feel unsafe, there will actually be consequences. To me, that's super small because that should have always been there. But that is something. Obviously, for me, the biggest thing I talk about, what can they do better? Hire people of color, hire black women, hire people that you're not that is outside of what you normally look at. That's how you grow the sport. Without diversity of thought or diversity, there isn't innovation. Like, we were talking about the Colored Hockey League. Everybody says, oh, no, hockey's really a white people's sport, or like, you don't belong. But actually, would you enjoy hockey if there was not the slap shot that was created that came from the Colored Hockey League? Like, we talk about everybody's favorite player who's going to break the record, Alex Ovechkin. Can you imagine him without the slap shot? That was created by us. We do belong here. We created innovation in the league, and there could be so much more work that's done. So, I'm always here in hockey to remind people, when you look at me like, oh my God, like, you're here. I'm like, yeah, we've been here since the beginning. Always reminding people.
So in terms of that progress, obviously we have a ways to go before we get anywhere close to what we want to get. But we do have Mike Rear in a GM office right now. We do have Jessica Campbell.
Brett Peterson
in the Florida Panthers front office.
Yep.
Jessica Campbell behind the NHL bench in Seattle. So there is some progress being made. Do you feel like that progress is on a path? I'm trying to think like a way to phrase the timing question, but like, is it happening? Are we starting to see enough momentum that we cannot look at these things as a one-off, or you know what I'm saying? Like, are we finally starting to see this as a trend?
I think that it's starting to happen, but obviously it can be done way more and at a faster rate, because like, if you think about it, like, I know I always go back to my favorite team, but like the Washington Capitals, we have Emily Engel that's behind the bench, and we're winning all of these challenges because she's actually looking at them and saying, yeah, that was offsides. This is what happened. I think that when you have the diversity in different looking people looking at this, the sport is going to get better and be more innovative. So while it's great that we are starting to see some difference, it could be done at a faster rate and more. Yeah. So that there's so many people that we almost can't name them all because there's so many people.
All right, you keep bringing up the Capitals, so I'll ask you about them. I'll be the guy.
Oh, Lord.
What do the Capitals have to do to avoid an embarrassing exit in the playoffs this year? Because if they finish this regular season as strong as they've been all year,
with the President's
if
Trophy,
they don't get to at least the Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to be looked at upon as that was a fraudulent year. So what do the Caps have to do to avoid that title this year?
So I'm going to start slow. Get out the first round because you haven't been out the first round since you won the Cup. So get out the first round first. A lot of Caps fans will be super satisfied. And also, I feel like if they show up, when they show up and play their game, they're going to win because let's be honest, so many people were crying about them making the playoffs last year. Apparently, Detroit should have made it instead of them. Apparently, the Penguins should have made it instead of them.
We don't talk about the Penguins here.
Obviously, we didn't do great in the playoffs last year. We were just happy to be there. So the fact that we are where we are, especially in the Eastern Conference in comparison to all the other teams, just play your game because nobody is expecting you to do it, and you are doing it. Play your game and you got this.
So before the year, I think you would be looking at it and saying, wow, we're the top team in the East and we have a chance to, win a playoff series. That's great. But at this point, with the way the year has gone, what is realistic for you guys and what are fans going to say? If you guys lose in the second round, are fans going to be saying, oh, that was a waste of a year. We really screwed that one up. Or are they going to be saying, well, we kind of came out of nowhere. We had a great year. It might be something to build on at the end of Ovi's tenure here.
I mean, I think, honestly, what first fans are going to be excited about is he's going to break the record before the playoffs. So we're going to be living off of that high. And I know, as a Caps fan, we were, especially after we won the Cup, we were like, you know what? We're just going to be happy when Ovi breaks the record. And if a playoff comes, that's like ice cream. But now we know we can win it all and we can enjoy Ovi just making history and looking good doing it. And, for us elder millennials, knowing that life doesn't end at 35, that you can be an almost 40-year-old and you're looking like a 25-year-old and having fun and can even break your leg and still break the record. So it's really fun time to be a Caps fan. I think it's actually a really fun time to be a hockey fan because you're going to witness history that we might not see again.
Just going to throw this out there. The record for most goals in an Stanley Cup playoff is 19. Ovi, go break it.
Good luck with
Absolutely. That. I know he did 15 when we won the Cup, and I think he can. I mean, I don't know. If I'm a goalie, I would want him to score on me so that my name can be in the history books.
As a Panther fan, I want to go on the record. I want to go on the record. I do not want Ovi to break any playoff records because that means the Panthers probably don't make the Stanley Cup Final. So I just want to put that out there.
No, he'll score.
I hope he breaks the record in the regular
round.
season. I think it'll be great, but let's save the record breaking for the regular season. Let's keep that in the regular
against
season.
Columbus, and then he'll just coast.
Yes, can we celebrate the Panthers going to Canada and beating a Canadian team and making Florida hockey even more fun?
No, don't get these folks started on going to Canada. Don't get these folks stared on having to go to Canada. They'll complain and sound spoiled.
I got one more question here, and we can end it here. You see stories like Akeem Aliu, who was called a racial slur by Bill Peters.
I call him Malcolm X to his face.
Malcolm X. Well, he, as we know, he was called a racial slur by Bill Peters when he was in Calgary. And Bill Peters made a concerted effort to basically push his career down and getting a true shot in the league. And then you see stories like Tony DeAngelo, who used a racial slur in the minors, who had an incident with Keandre Miller with his own teammate with the Rangers.
Yes.
And he's gotten chance
in the face.
Yeah, and he got chance after chance, and now being signed with the Islanders at picking him up from the scrap heap in Russia with the KHL. Yeah. You see guys like this getting chance after chance. What goes through your head?
That's why more work needs to be done, because Tony D'Angelo would be considered like the worker that you don't hire, the obvious red flag. And and not that it matters, but he's not even good enough to be getting all those chances. That's how you know more work needs to be done, because why are we even talking about him? Like, it's really embarrassing for these teams to put their necks out there for someone who's not even worth it, and I don't even think appreciates it, and then ends the exact same way. It's almost like the ego of them to think, well, we're different. Well, you're not different when this person's terrible. Like, let's be real.
Fatou Bah, you're doing great work for Black Girl Hockey Club, and I really appreciate you coming on. Continue all your successes with the club.
Thank you so much. And you know what? I love seeing you hosting this show. We need more like you. This was my pleasure. I would be remiss if I did not say hi to my best friend, Lauren Andrews, who is a huge fan of everything you guys do. And I know she'll be watching and will be mad if I don't say hi to you. So hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. Thank you, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Lauren. Fatou, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. This was great.
See you in the playoffs, Fatou.
Absolutely. I want that revenge.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want that smoke.
Right,
you don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke. No, you
I want
don't.
the pens.
I'm not talking about the Panthers. We'll see you in the playoffs. Well, at some point, we're going to be on the road. We're going to meet up again.
We'll see you at the Winter
But the
Classic
Caps,
as well.
the Caps do not want that smoke. That's all I know.
You're right. I want the easiest, so I hope the Rangers make the playoffs.
No.
See, you should have said Penguins. Make Roy happy.
Hey there, travelers and dreamers. We all have that dream trip that we've been wishing we could go on. But too often, life just gets in the way, whether it's work, family responsibilities, or, in my case, and I'm sure many of yours, price. But your dream trip doesn't have to stay a dream any longer, because Priceline is here to help you book it with millions of deals on hotels, flights, cruises, and rental cars. That bucket list destination? Yeah, it's a lot closer than you think. You know, I've been wanting to go see the Pittsburgh Pirates for a long time at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. That's like at the top of my list of bucket list destinations of baseball parks around the country. And because I now know about the type of deals that Priceline offers, I may pull the trigger this summer and go see those Pirates. Priceline makes it easy and stress-free to book a flight and a hotel so I can go see my team play live. With millions of travel deals like up to 60% off hotels, I know I'll be able to find great options even when I need to book last minute. So don't just dream about that next trip, book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com to go to your happy price. Actual prices may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Hey folks, happy wintertime. You know, wintertime's a great time to hang out with friends, maybe take a hockey trip. It's what I did with my friends. Hockey time quickly became Miller time. Responsibly, of course, because Miller Lite was made for me and my crew of friends. Bunch of guys that love the taste of beer and don't want to feel guilty about the beer that they're having. Miller Lite delivers across almost every note because Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. The taste you know you can depend on with no games and no gimmicks. Just a great beer for people who like beer. Like you, like my friends, and like me. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
All right, it's time for the weekend review for the Florida Panthers. Before we get into the games, however, Matthew Tkachuk, who was fresh off of Four Nations and very much injured, was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and Jimmy Fallon talked to him about the Four Nations tournament.
The Four Nations face-off, everyone was talking about this. Everyone watched. It was like 16 million people. When was the last time they did this?
It's been 10 years, I think, since the last international opportunity. So this is my 9th year in the league, so I've kind of gotten the short end of the stick on that.
You never had the opportunity,
Never had the opportunity, so I think, myself and all the guys that were in this were just so jacked up for it, and I think that's why you saw the fights all at the beginning of that game against Canada. I think guys want to get their anger out of the way.
No, they did the first 9 seconds of the game. There was like 3 fights.
Yeah,
and you're one of them.
I was one of them. My brother was one of them. So
so Dad was proud, huh?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Matthew Tkachuk is getting his shine nationwide as the face of USA hockey, so good for him.
A hockey player on The Tonight Show? A Florida Panther on The Tonight Show?
Florida Panther on The Tonight
What
Show.
timeline are we living in right now? What the hell's going on?
You didn't see that shit on Carson, I'll tell you that.
Couldn't believe
Weird,
it.
wild stuff. Wild stuff.
Well, he was a little bit sincere.
Really? You believe so, huh?
Yeah, I would have given more spiciness or something like that, but he was great. But yeah.
Let's be honest. What does Jimmy Fallon know about puck, dude?
I mean, whatever his
producers, exactly.
Yeah, so that's what happened. So good for him wearing that Perry Ellis wardrobe that he's sponsored by.
It's pretty awesome to see. Sorry, a Florida Panther, like you guys mentioned, as the face of U.S. hockey on a media tour. I mean, he was on with the Kelsey brothers. I don't know if you guys heard that. It was a great interview.
Yep.
Totally recommend it.
Both brothers.
Sooner or later,
also Kevin Clark.
Brady Tkachuk was on Spit and Chicklets talking about it. Like, these guys have quickly, in 9 seconds, become the faces of American hockey, and they're going to be the guys that are going to grow the sport in this country. It's really, really cool to see.
Thank you,
Cool
Barky.
to see hockey in places you don't see hockey getting talked about. You see it on the Tonight Show, the Kelsey Brothers podcast, the Dan Patrick Show. Like, people are talking about hockey where hockey is not usually creeping into. That's the biggest thing, I think. What will hopefully be the residual effort from this tournament, when all is said and done, is we're going to be talking about how much it grew the game.
Yeah, that's great. But how about coming on our show? That'd be nice. We're down the street. You can drive down here if you feel like it, from Fort Lauderdale. I mean, you have to break the traffic on I-95 and everything, but, come in the studio.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Barky and Chucky.
Yeah.
Come.
All Florida Panthers have
All
an open
Florida
invite.
Panthers, yeah, but-
Open invite.
Yeah.
How about the entire roster? Just come on in
There
here.
you
Hang
go.
out in the studio
We
over
could
there.
fit in
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of room. I'll just hand off a mic and whatever. All right, let's get to the games. The Panthers started off the second half of the season against the Seattle Kraken, and there's something about the Seattle Kraken that the Panthers just can't crack. They are now 3-5-0 against Seattle. What the hell is going on here?
It felt like the first game after a break. They just felt a little discombobulated. They couldn't get their offensive zone time to click. They couldn't get the shots on goal. Credit to Joey Daccord. He played a great game in goal for Seattle. It was cool to see, the welcome back videos from Montour and Mahora, and the fans gave them a good ovation and all that. But there's something about Seattle that the Panthers just don't click.
Yeah, the Panthers led in all the counting stats, the shots. In fact, expected goals they were leading in, except this was a TJ Luxmore night. So he was one of the refs in this game. And when TJ Luxmore is refereeing a Florida Panthers game, shit happens. You know why? Because he adversely affected this game for the Florida Panthers. And you can see on the video here that Evan Rodriguez was called for goaltender interference as he skated in and affected what would have been a goal for Mackie Samuskevich. Rodriguez was pushed into the net, into the crease. He was pushed into the crease. Daccord tried to make a save there, and apparently that was goaltender interference. Rodriguez getting pushed into the crease. Rodriguez unable to exit the crease because Josh Mahura would not let him get out, and then the effective save.
So he didn't touch the goalie.
Penalty for time.
You are a minute 12 late on that, by the way.
So he didn't touch the goalie.
For you.
Penalty for time.
He got pushed into the crease.
Correct.
And the puck was past the goalie before any of the contact. So as I'm holding up all these fingers here, all those things did not happen. So where exactly was the interference?
So here's my issue with what happened is the announcement in the arena was he entered the crease on his own is what the ref said.
Right.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
Even
So
close to what
I was at the game and I saw the replay on the board and I said to my friend that I was there with, I said, I think this one might be coming back because let's be clear. It
took too long for them to review.
Rodriguez, once he gets pushed in, right, you could argue that he affects Daccord's ability to get over and make the save because of his positioning,
See,
right?
I've seen such more intrusive plays.
Of course.
But Rodriguez tried to exit and Mahura wouldn't let him.
So here's the issue, is the explanation of why it was goaltender interference was not sufficient. That was not a good explanation. He did not enter the crease on his own. He was pushed into the crease, and then he tried to exit. Look, can you say...
you agree with the call, but not the explanation?
Well, okay, no. I'm just saying, based off the explanation, the call was wrong.
I think it was all wrong.
I wouldn't have called it. I'm not a referee.
Biased. God damn it. All right, so...
Calling the guy draped in Panthers... biased. Yes.
Yeah. So going forward, the rest of the game, I don't want to spend too much time on goalie interference, but the rest of the game, that took the Panthers the wind out of their sails.
for sure.
I want to spend more time on goalie interference because I'm pissed off about
No,
this.
because at the time they had just scored to tie the game.
Right.
The momentum
that tied
was
the game.
building,
It was
and
2-2.
that totally.
No, that actually gave them the lead. That was a 2-1
No, that
game.
would have given them the lead. They had just tied it.
Correct.
The momentum was on their side, and then that just kind of
totally
all
took
over it.
After that, they were terrible.
The National Hockey League came back on the video review explanation. They said that video review determined Evan Rodriguez's presence in the crease and his contact on Joey Decord's stick impaired his ability to play his position prior to Mackie Samoskiewicz's goal.
Right.
That's them defending the referee.
Yes.
That's bullshit.
That is what that is.
Panthers lost 2-1 in that game. On Tuesday, they went to Nashville and they played the Predators, and that was a much better effort right there. That was much better game.
Most teams have been enjoying their trips to Nashville this season.
Yeah, honky tonk up there. Sam Bennett, goal, assist, and a fight.
I think there's a name for that.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. Well, we won't go
into
the
Ned Gretzky hat trick, Rose.
No. Another pet adoption for Benny's buddies. By the way, I really want, and Jordan McPherson's trying to get to him, but he hasn't been available in practice. But I want to know if that goal in Four Nations by Sam Bennett helped another pet get adopted.
I would hope so. I think it's just a Panthers promotion, but I think for the sake of good humanity and good dog-anity or whatever the canine anity, we can get that dog another an extra adoption. Why not?
Yeah. Preds are bad, eh?
I guess.
Yeah, they are.
They're really bad. Just watching that game, they're undisciplined.
They give up too many. They can't score. Their
they can't
special
defend.
teams are a mess.
Yeah,
Bruno.
Poor Bruno. Yeah, Andrew Burnett's probably not going to survive.
Cats might have dodged a bullet, eh?
This season.
Well, I mean, considering how it's gone with Paul Maurice.
Yeah.
Pretty good decision by Bill Zito. Rose is doing Instagram stories. Just ignore her.
Justin Sardif scored his first
I'm telling
career
how
NHL goal as I'm trying to do this show. What the hell is going on in there?
I'm trying to tell everybody how time is up.
Oh.
So you're affecting the show. Justin Sardif scored his first NHL goal. He was in the lineup because Eetu Luostarinen was on paternity leave. Congratulations, Eetu.
Baby girl.
Dad
bump incoming.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, his line mate.
He did have a great game last night, Eetu. He was great last night.
Points.
Yeah, he almost scored.
Yeah.
So.
He's going to be fighting off boys with his hockey stick, man.
You know.
Yeah. Spencer Knight, 18 shots faced, 17 shots stopped, 40 attempts. Good defense.
Yes. Well, again, Nashville.
Just one thing on Sordif. I thought it wasn't just that he scored.
Sordif?
He was Sort of.
Is he from France?
Sort of.
It sounded like a cordial.
He was great, not just the goal, but I thought he was really good defensively. He made some nice plays tracking back, and he can fly. So I think he could be a player that, put him on the fourth line, God forbid anything happens.
It's been it's about time.
They need the pipeline.
Yeah.
If they're going to be sustainable for a long time, they need to have cheap contracts that can contribute. They need the Lundells, the Mackies, the Sortifs. They need those guys to step in and supplant that bottom half of the roster. Well,
Black Aces this playoff season, right?
No.
Yeah.
Let's close it.
Yeah, let's close it. We got one game to review and one game to preview. So let's do that. Edmonton last night, big game. The game that got flipped for Flyers Penguins on ESPN Plus, which obviously
worked out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it worked out for them. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for me because the Penguins won in overtime.
No.
Yeah. Well,
they ain't going nowhere.
Yeah. Neither one of them are going in. They flipped that game for two teams that are not making the playoffs. I don't care how that game
for
resulted.
A potential finals rematch matchup, whatever.
Do you hate the Penguins more than you like the Panthers?
No, I don't believe so. But
I do believe so.
I'm starting to think so.
It's pretty damn equal.
I'm starting to think so.
We should put it in a poll. We should put a poll.
Put on the poll?
Yeah.
It's getting a little close, Troy.
What happens when Crosby retires? Do you still hate the Penguins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
This goes back to 1992.
He's always
That's
gonna be a
Stanley Cup
Penguin.
Final.
Okay.
Yeah. The Blackhawks lost to the Penguins in Stanley Cup Final.
So
That's
whoever
where
the
my hate
next
began.
Penguins great star is, you're going to hate him too.
Oh, they'll figure out a way for them to fudge the draft lottery again and get another superstar.
This is 2 minutes of the Panthers. So what are we talking Penguins?
Panthers.
We like to have fun
Oilers,
here.
I'm bringing that up because they flipped. That was a national game.
We like to have
that
fun
was going to
here.
be a
We like to have
national
fun here.
game, and they flipped it for Flyers Penguins. What the hell are we doing here?
Rose just throws a little grenade into the middle of the room. Like,
I'm trying to do the damn show.
Go.
What the hell are we doing here?
Go, finish it.
All right, fine. We're not even close to being done.
Panthers beat the Oilers 4-3.
There was another overturned goal, another review.
Three games
in a row.
overturned goals, man. The Panthers
ridiculous.
are fighting through it.
Yeah, Alexander Barkov went offside on what would have been a power play goal
that
for
one
Carter
was
Verhaeghe.
pretty offside.
Yeah, that was way
very
offside.
obvious goal.
That was the opposite of the goalie interference goal. That one was pretty obvious.
Yeah, Carter Verhaeghe would end up scoring in that game anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But Anton Lundell, a goal and 2 assists, and a nickname that Rose would absolutely love, Baby Barky.
Rose, what do you think of Anton Lundell? Do you know what he looks like?
Lundy, yeah. I know how he's blonde.
Babyface, but
and 23 and very tall. But for me, it's Barky. But both of them, I love them, but Barky.
Yeah, that the Panthers won 4-3. That was they. You know what? Paul Maurice did not like a lot of what happened with that game with the Panthers because too much transition.
Yeah, they anytime they get into the rush game, it's not good for this team. It was good for the President's Trophy winning Panthers team.
Yeah,
but not the Paul Maurice Panthers.
No.
Fortunately, the Panthers played very well in other areas. They limited Edmonton's chances to Sergei Bobrovsky. Really wasn't that great either. But they scored 4 goals and they came out on top.
It was an interesting night for Bob. I actually thought he was pretty good. He made some big saves. He lit up 2 tough ones. One was kind of greasy. The other one was really bad, the Brett Kulak one. Draisaitl makes a great play. Like, that's just a world-class hockey play where you have Gustav Forsling absolutely all over you, shove a guy off, basically lift it with one hand, roof it. It was a really, really unbelievable play. Like, just left me, mouth ajar, like unbelievable. But I thought the Panthers, they had good and bad spells last night. They dominated the game. I mean, they outshot them 36-27. So to say they were bad last night would be rough. They're giving up too much in transition still.
That was the aspect of the game that mode.
2 of their goals were in transition, right?
Yeah.
So you don't like that, but Verhaeghe's goal was awesome. I would have liked a little more juice in the building for a Stanley Cup Final rematch last night. Like, I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of energy. I know it's a Thursday, but still, you could tell that game meant something. There was a fight early, and walking out of that building, you were like, okay, this win feels great. So it was a fun night.
Tomorrow, the Florida Panthers play the Calgary Flames, and the Flames coming off a loss to the Lightning. That didn't stop pregame Ryan Lomberg giving his feelings about returning to Tampa.
Lomby.
You've got a lot of history in this building, some good, some bad. Do you like coming here or do you hate it?
I like the palm trees and the sunshine, but I hate these guys.
Wow.
Yeah, he hates the Lightning.
His mic cut out there.
Yeah, that's the silence. Yeah, that is Mike. I think the people in the control truck had they saw what was coming.
This is a new and unimproved Dan Le Batard show with the Stugotz. Gamble on.
That's not going to stop me from talking, right? Like, I'm doing a show here. What are you doing? All right. The Flames have lost 7 of the last 11. They are still looking at a wild card spot. They are still close to getting it, but still losing 7 out of the last 11.
Yeah, 1 point out, actually. Look at them.
Yeah. So they better straighten up and fly right because you don't want to lose out on that. You can lose the playoff spot the way they're going. And right now, going into the Stanley Cup, defending Stanley Cup champions' house, oh, boy, it's going to be tough for them.
It is.
Thank you very much, Everything Panthers. Come to our show. This was a great show. See you next time.
Can I end the show?
I already ended it, so.
No, you didn't already end it because I'm trying to end the show.
Okay, ended it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, goodbye.
Hey, folks, happy winter time. Wintertime is a great time to hang out with friends. Maybe take a hockey trip. It's what I did with my friends. Hockey time quickly became Miller time. Responsibly, of course, because Miller Lite was made for me and my crew of friends. Bunch of guys that love the taste of beer and don't want to feel guilty about the beer that they're having. Miller Lite delivers across almost every note because Miller Lite is brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. The taste you can depend on with no games and no gimmicks. Just a great beer for people who like beer. Like you, like my friends, and like me. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.